here again today from allaboutstencils.com and designsfrompenny.com, and today I wanted to talk to you about basic stenciling techniques. And what I did was I printed this daisy stencil from allaboutstencils.com. It's free at allaboutstencils.com, and you could print it there too and work with us, but again, we're just going to be talking about basic techniques. Anyway, let's get started. Okay, I've got the stencil printed and it came from allaboutstencils.com. This is a great way to get stencils. There's a lot of free ones. There are a lot of free ones at allaboutstencils.com, but there are a lot of free ones all over the internet that you can print and use. And a great one are on paper because paper is very, very thin and it hugs your surface. It helps you get a cleaner line. Now, first thing I did was after I printed my stencil was I covered it with some clear shelf liner. And the reason I did that is because now I have a permanent stencil. Actually, a lot of times when I finish painting with these, I take a damp rag and I wipe them down and use them again later. So your paper stencils can be used again and again. The other thing about paper stencils is that you can change the size of them. If you print your stencil, you can take it to a copy machine, change the size that way, or you can sometimes get your printer to change the size, or if you have an image software that you can work with to change the size. Those are several ways to do that. Anyway, what I'm painting on today, we're going to keep it simple because it's just basic. I'm just using some Strathmore Wind Power smooth paper. It's kind of thick, so the paint is not going to crinkle it. And anyway, let's get started. The paints I'm using are bright yellow and a bright orange. It's a daisy. The brushes I'm using are just stenciling brushes. They have a round head to them, and very short and very stiff. You want a very stiff brush because a thin brush is going to be more likely to push paint underneath the stencil, and it's going to be more likely to hold too much paint. Stenciling is a dry brush technique, so you want to get your paint to be very just kind of powdery on the brush. So let's use something else too, like this sponge brush. Okay, let's get started. And let's start with the inside. Okay, the circle, and as you see, I'm kind of dabbing it out, getting a real thin powdering on the brush, and always an up and down motion. Up and down over the edges. I like to start with over the edges. Up and down is pushing your pattern down close to your surface and keeping paint from going underneath. That's the idea with stenciling. You want to keep paint from going underneath the stencil. Okay. There you go. Up and down all the way. Back and forth is going to push paint underneath, so you don't want to do that. Okay. I use a different brush for each color. And again, you want your brush to be very thinly applicated with the paint. So you wouldn't want to clean a brush and then use it again, because it would have water on it, and that would thin down your paint. So you want to use a thicker paint, something that's not going to get pushed under the stencil or run under the stencil, especially if you're working on a horizontal surface like a wall. Anyway, you get the idea. This is basic stenciling, and that's how you work with a stencil. Now, the other thing I want to show you while I'm here is to roll the stencil off. You don't want to drag it off and smear your paint again. So there you go. And as you see, I went out a little bit because I was doing it fast, but you get pretty clean lines, and that's basic stenciling. Well, thank you for joining me for basic stenciling techniques, and I hope you come back for more fun projects at allaboutstencils.com and designsfrompenny.com. Thanks.